Welcome back. All right, so this is just a quick little video here today. We're getting close to planting season. It's the beginning of February, and here in El Paso, I mean, we'll be able to start getting plants out here probably in about a month and a half. So it's time to start getting our seeds ready, getting things started in our trays and stuff. But before we start doing all that, I just want to share how I store my seeds. So because most seeds are pretty much they're very similar to dry beans. And so the main things that you have to worry about are water, air, just like if you're storing up like beans or rice for food storage, you kind of have to protect your seeds the same way. And one way that I like to do it, because I also like to reuse stuff. If I want to buy something, I like to get the most use out of everything. And so what I do, these are olives. Like, they had like garlic olives and pimento olives and just, a bunch of different flavors of olives. And they all come in these nicely shaped jars and it's a very easy way to store your seeds because the lids seal down. They close down nice and tight, and so it keeps the air and the water from getting in there. That some of them seal up really tightly. And after you've cleaned them out, you boil them out so that there's no residue in there. But this is a great way to keep your seeds dry and free from oxygen. These are, of course, heirloom variety. They're non-GMO. Some of them are busted up. They came like that in the pack. So, but I found a nice thing about these is because I like to buy seeds. Like when I get great deals on seeds, I like to buy a lot. And so, like this right here, these peppers. I mean, I've just got a whole bunch of different peppers, and these are all mixed, but they're non-GMO seeds. And by storing them in here, I don't have to worry about them getting wet, about oxygen or bugs getting to them. And the other nice thing about them is that I know what seeds I have, and so I can store them up on a shelf like this. And like these peas here, they're open in there, so you can plant them. But I keep at least one of the packets in there, so I have the information on the back. But when these are on a shelf like this, you can see peppers, peas, beans, and they stack nicely, and it keeps your seeds very organized. It keeps them dry, and it keeps them from the damaging elements they can get to your seeds, because like I said, those are essentially just white beans. And so you could probably eat those, to be honest, but I wouldn't, because they are seeds to grow. But I mean, that's all a seed is. Beans are essentially seeds. And so if you treat your seeds like you would treat storing of your beans, and I like to store things in glass jars. They are, one thing, they can be sanitized a lot easier than plastic. And, I think, these were like $1.25 a jar. And so once you eat the olives, and I like olives, so once I eat the olives, I have the jars. Well, I could have just thrown the jars away, but then you're left with like, how are you going to store your seeds? And there's ways to store them, I get it, but I like this because I'm reusing, so I'm actually making more use. So it's like this $1 that I spent for these olives, I get the enjoyment of eating the olives, and it could be olives, it can be pickles or, the asparagus or mushrooms or whatever. But these jars they're almost a perfect size for the seeds, because as you can see, the seed packs, they fit in there. They're about the same height as a seed pack. And so they stack in there nicely. And you can store a lot of seeds in these jars for future planting. So, and again, like I said, this is just a little tip that I, this is how I store my seeds, and I've had great success with storing them this way. I haven't had any seeds get compromised, and it keeps them looking very nice on the shelf too. And so I know it's like, okay, I know what I have, and especially like if they're open, you can see what you have. These Blue Lake green beans, and you can see how many seeds you have in the jar just by spinning it. So, and this is it's a really useful. I think this is a useful way. That's why I'm putting this up here. Same thing like with the peas. You can see how many peas you have in the bottom, so it's like, okay, we don't need to buy peas. So, ideally, these would be full of seeds, and then sealed up, and then you could just put those on a shelf somewhere, store them up properly, and you're pretty much setting yourself up for future successes when it comes to needing seeds. So, and I mean, there's better ways to store them, but I mean, I don't have a deep freeze that I can freeze them and seal them up, and because a lot of the heirloom seeds are, you can buy them where they're pretty much frozen, and they'll last indefinitely. But these ones here, this is a good way. I haven't had it even go bad, and I like the organization aspect of it too. So, but that's it. So that's the gardening tip for the week, is just how to store your seeds. And you're reusing stuff normally you throw away, and it's just something that I think that is just like when we make like the tuna can stove, or when you're making stuff when you're utilizing stuff that you would normally throw away, it's a better use of your money. And I think that that's something that, especially in today's economy, that we have to keep in the back of our mind, is like, well, am I going to throw that jar away? Am I going to use it for something? And I think that this is a really good way to use your jars efficiently, effectively, and it really helps keep your seeds organized. So, but anyway, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. We'd love to have you. Go ahead and do me a favor, if you hit that thumbs up button and like the video. If you haven't already, if you are subscribed, hit that bell notification. Go ahead and leave me a comment. And if you have any other ideas on how to store seeds, how you store your seeds, let me know. Maybe this isn't the best way, but I think this is a pretty good way to store seeds. So, all right, until next time, have a great day.